Here we go. All right, we are live. Hello. Hopefully everybody can hear us. I've been playing with new sound settings. I think I finally have figured that crap out. We'll find out. But welcome back to Uncanny Adventures, our Skull and Shackles campaign. Our whole pirate crew is here today. As we continue our sailing of the high seas, learning about piracy and plunder. Well, we haven't plundered anything yet, but hopefully soon. Yet. But we will go around and say hello, and then we will jump back into our wonderful pirate shenanigans as we have taken to doing. So why don't we start? We'll start with you, Paladin Hulk, and work our way around.
Oh, that's me. Hi. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I'm Paladin Hulk. I'm a Twitch moderator for Random Tuesday, Little Red Dot, and for one single stream, Blue Jay. All right. I am playing Holt, the pirate paladin, and I am ready to make more friends and try to keep this whole mess from falling apart. Hooray.
Yay. And how about Kat?
Hi, I'm Kat. I play Antoinette de Jong. It's Christmas time. There's a tree. I'm wearing the Christmas earrings. I'm looking forward to pirate shenanigans. Is there Christmas on high seas?
I mean, you know, if there's not, Antoinette can start a new tradition.
Excellent. I'll do that straight after I do some more minor illusion shenanigans that I did at the end of last session. Can't wait.
That's fair enough, fair enough. And how about our resident water genasi, Brad? What's up? What's going on?
Oh, not much. I'm the very, very tired wild magic sorcerer, Water Genasi Miri. And while normally he is a source of shenanigans, today he might just be the source of sleep.
So tired.
That is a spell, you know, right?
That's true.
Yes, I know. I use it.
It's a spell that Miri has put to use quite often, among others. And also, hey, Dylan, what's up?
Hey, I'm Dylan. I play Bartholomew Ignatius Seacaster, the Sahuagin Bard, and cook's mate of the Wormwood at the moment.
And you do a fabulous job. So far, there's been no food poisoning that you know of on board the ship since you took your position. And I'm Jeanette. Hi, welcome. I'm a DM. I get to play everybody else and figure out exactly what's going on when they interact with these guys, because wow.
And also, you have amazing voices for your characters. Like, I think that's one of the things, because I missed the recent stream, so I ended up watching it before the session, and I realized that because I wasn't playing it at the time, I realized just how distinctive your different voices are for each of the characters, which is really good. I enjoy it.
I try. Sometimes I forget what I did the last time, and I think, I try
Don't
to think
worry,
of like.
Jeanette. We all do.
Yeah.
You're
Try
a
to
great
think of
GM.
famous people.
There's absolutely no reason for you to worry at all about how you perform. You're doing a phenomenal job.
Thank you. Well, you know, I also have really good players to work off of, so it works out good. So,
Really? Yeah. Okay.
yeah, I love my players.
You do have other groups, so.
I mean, I'm totally good with flattery here.
Wow.
Flattery's good.
I love all my players. I love them all. I feel the worst for my
Equally?
Call of Cthulhu. Well, I feel the worst for my Call of Cthulhu players because
Oh, you should.
I intentionally mess with them. Like the others, I mean, sometimes things happen, but everybody's a good sport. All right, so last time on board ship, we've had a couple of pretty heated days. Not so much, well, maybe a little bit of heated interpersonal relations, but mostly, it's been a bit of a heat wave after the heavy storms blew through the few days before, and you know everybody's a bit worn out and just kind of tired. Maybe Miri more than anybody at this point. Miri's been having a tough run of it the last couple days. And everyone's mostly been focused on just kind of getting through the day-to-day tasks. The days wind down and not much goes on in the evening as everybody takes to their hammocks a little bit early, it seems, just to get away from this oppressive heat. And then after another long day, everyone started heading off to bed, and as Holt discovered Miri had not made it all the way to the hammocks and was curled up and sleeping already amongst the gunpowder barrels, and started quietly directing the rest of the crew past the area. Antoinette hesitated up above, waited, checked her boot. Maybe there was a nail stuck in that boot. She took her time, let everyone go downstairs. Maybe a knife. There may be a knife. And then, after carefully looking around, making sure there was no one watching, using the minor illusion spell that she has taken quite a liking to in this adventure, she lets loose a loud, piercing scream. A very familiar scream. Sounds like a certain pirate who is no longer with the crew, named Slippery Sill. And it echoes down the stairs into the hold below. And as it does, it startles awake the piglets that had settled in for the night. So on top of the screeching of this long dead handful of days it's been, honestly, she's been dead like 9 days, everybody, and she's still annoying the crew. The piglets start squealing and freaking out. This agitates the goats, who start running around in a panic. Which, Holt, you are standing at the top of the stairs leading down to the next level, and you hear this scream and see the animals start freaking out and going crazy. And Miri, you had just dozed off to go to sleep. I want you, Miri, to roll a perception check. I want to know exactly how unconscious Miri is.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so sorry.
Oh,
I'm
that's
so
okay.
Oh, Miri, you are, even with disadvantage on this, you are not unconscious enough to sleep through and continue resting as this shrill scream and then utter chaos that ensues in this midship's deck unfolds. There's a clattering from the room across the way where you know Fish Guts and Cutthroat have gone to settle in for the night. Bart, I believe you were in the kitchen setting aside your new turtle shell that you were just finishing up.
Yes,
so it's you and the chickens who also start freaking out. And Holt, downstairs, you just hear a cacophony of people like responding to this yell, and you hear
I run
footfalls.
towards the scream.
All right, so
You know,
Antoinette,
if I can figure out where it's coming from, that's where I'm going.
make a perception check, Holt.
Can do. Perception.
All right, so you're standing at the top of the stairs that lead down to the lower hold, and the scream seems to come from the stairs opposite. And in fact, you kind of see through where the there's an open gap between the stairs. You see Owlbear like sit up in a panic and like cover his ears and start kind of like, he stands up and pulls on the chains that kind of hold him where he is, and kind of starts looking around, like freaking out a little bit too. So you realize it seems like the scream came down the stairs.
Yeah, it
on the
didn't
other
sound
side.
like Owlbear, right? Because he probably has a very distinctive voice and scream.
Yes, very deep baritone from Owlbear when he makes noise. And Antoinette, you're at the top of the stairs as this goes on, and you hear inside the little cupboard door, "Ah! Right there!" And you hear something shatter, and then footsteps coming toward the door. And also a bunch of noise from outside on the deck, as it seems like some people may have heard it from the deck. So, excuse me. Antoinette, what are you doing in the moment after the scream goes off and you start to, like, all of these reactions kind of happen in the next, 10 seconds or so?
I'm going to go quietly, presuming nobody's actually running past me. I'm going to
Not
go
currently.
up the stairs to the top, to one higher, keeping an ear out on the inside of what's her name's door, the footsteps and the shatter and stuff. And then a couple of seconds later, I want to sort of barrel down the stairs, like really loudly, like doing the no, and walking down the stairs.
So I want you to roll me a stealth check, please, Antoinette.
Oh God, least stealthy person ever.
All right, so you kind of run back up the steps, and sort of stand kind of behind the post that sort of is part of the mass that comes up through this room, and kind of try to hide yourself there as you run up and kind of get out of the way. You hear footsteps running from like out on the deck toward the door inside this room, and you can hear Peppery, like the sound of her undoing the lock. Holt, you do notice, and Miri also, as you shake awake, above all the cacophony, you do hear like 3 footfalls going up the stairs that go up to the other deck, though you can't see who it is from here. So what are you two doing in this moment?
I'm trying to find out who's screaming. It's not Owlbear, so I go up the stairs. I
All right.
check in with him, like I make eye contact with Owlbear, and then I go up.
Okay, so Holt, you run around. Owlbear looks at you, his eyes wide. The piglets kind of rushing underfoot, squealing, as they seem to have gotten themselves out of their cages. You just see, as you round the corner past Owlbear, like, as you make contact with him, you just see, it looks like the bottom part of feet disappear at the top of the stairs above you,
Okay.
as you hear the last footfall. And, Miri, what about you? What do you do in that moment? You're lying amongst the gunpowder
So I
barrels.
kind of sit up when the voice screams. And does the scream continue? Or does it stop?
How long did it last?
stopped.
It was like
It-
one
it-
shrill.
Yeah, it was like 5 seconds, maybe.
Okay,
Okay.
well,
That's pretty long, but
In that case, I'm just going to wake up. I'm going to look around blurrily. I'm going to see everybody running around. And I'm going to lay back down, and I'm going to pull my cloak over my head and curl up in a ball and say, somebody else can deal with it today.
I'm on it.
All right, and Bart, what do you do as this you hear this whole cacophony of noise?
Well, I imagine at first I was like fitting a strap to the turtle shell. So first off, my knife like cuts into my hand, and I'm like, ah! And then the chickens just, all over, and are flying all over the kitchen. I'm just like, oh, oh!
My
So I think-
souffle!
I think I'm just trying to do my best to get my hand back into regular shape, find another strap, not be mauled by chickens like in Legend of Zelda,
All right. There's chicken feathers flying all around you in this moment. The one goat that was still in the kitchen is just looking at you intently.
Oh, and I protect my new parrot friend too. That's right.
Ah,
I forgot about the parrot!
I forgot about the parrot too.
Pluck, the parrot, who is sitting on top of your head and yelling frantically, screaming, 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 screaming. It looks down
As long
in
as
your
it doesn't
face.
start
Screaming?
Screaming.
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 What? One of the chickens eyeballs the parrot. It looks at it, goes, screaming. The chicken just... All right, so... So Antoinette, you duck upstairs and you hear the lock turning on Peppery's door, and you can see the knob like turning and the door starting to open, and you hear the footsteps reach the other door that leads out to the main deck. So you know you're about to have a ton of people kind of probably run in here. Also, there's a lot of footsteps running up from below.
All right. I would like to take out a crossbow bolt. I see your face. Take out a crossbow bolt, which I have. Make it down the stairs. Does she open her door?
Well, her door is right at the top of the stairs. She's opening it, and you're at the top of the stairs.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. I thought she was at the bottom. Yeah, does she open? Is she coming out?
It looks like she's opening that door.
I'm gonna wait for her to open the door, and
All right.
Go out.
All right, so the door is opening, and you hear footsteps coming up from below. And the other door from the deck starts to open too, and you see Peppery's face in the doorway, like, what is going on? And she's standing with the door open.
Now from below, shout, Howie, who's doing all that screaming?
Slippery Sills down there. I heard.
And where? I don't see anything.
You point, and Holt is coming up the stairs where you're pointing.
What, me?
No, behind you, down there. I heard the scream.
I go investigate the deck.
So
that I'm on, you know.
Yep. So you turn around in time to for about 10 more crew members to come running around the corner, all in a huff. Who's screaming? What's going on?
It's that
Jack's
fucking
like,
ghost. Antoinette
the
says it's
ghost
on
again.
the deck now.
Oh, you
Well,
see Jack
I heard
like
the
what?
scream.
Slippery Sill like steps out of the room.
Does she?
Pulls the
That's
door
surprising.
shut. Pulls the door shut behind her. Looks.
Before she, how far away am I from the door?
You're probably within 10 feet of her.
Oh, right. I thought I was closer to the door. Okay.
I just want to check that you said Slippery Sill, and you know.
Oh, I'm
that's
sorry.
Not who steps out with the gun,
Yes,
because
Peppery Longfarthing.
that would be
Yeah, dang.
shocking.
That would be awesome.
She played us all for fools.
Would it have made it closer to the door in the meantime?
If you had wanted to step closer, you could have stepped
I would
up
like
the
to be
door.
right up by the door.
Okay, so you stepped up as she steps out of the door.
Is there a potential way that I can do a... This is going to be a really high performance check or whatever. Do a fake fall to the floor and put a crossbow bolt in the edge of the door so that it stays open.
Ooh.
Ooh, I would let you, if you would like to do a deception check and a sleight of hand to try and do this. I will,
All right.
I will say.
Let's
go
do
for
this,
it.
guys. This can only go well.
I mean,
Yeah.
So I'm very
Excellent.
deceptive.
mm-hmm.
But there's a 15.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
All right,
Oh
so
no, the
you.
floor is so slippery.
Let's see.
It's part of the curse of Slippery Sill.
Well, I mean, all this ice we've had
That's
lately,
true.
it must be.
See,
Exactly.
only I'd thought of making shaped water first, but I did not.
All
Where's
these things
Miri?
happen.
Have shaped water.
All right, let's see. So you... Oh my. All right, so
Wow.
you fall, and Peppery sort of looks down at you like, what? Did you get new shoes? As you sort of fall there, and then let's see if she notices you putting a crossbow bolt. Because that was an insight to see if she believed your deception, which it was equal, so she's not really sure why you're on your face, but okay. And she does not seem to notice that you have inserted this crossbow in the seam of the door to sort of block it from closing tightly. As she finishes stepping out over you and pulls the door what she thinks is tightly shut behind her. Move! 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 And she starts down the stairs after Holt, pushing through the whole group of people who have kind of congregated at the bottom of the stairs. At the back of this group, Cutthroat is standing there with her double-bladed axe in hand, looking around. And Fish Guts is standing in the open doorway of the bedroom. And he's just looking out, and his chicken is sitting on his shoulder, looking at him and looking out and looking at him. And he's like, mind the pigs! Mind the pigs! We only have so many of them left. And he goes back in his room. So Slippery Sill comes down the stairs. Not Slippery
Peppery,
Sill.
Peppery.
I'm telling you, I'm stuck on
Man,
the
she
name.
keeps showing up.
Peppery. She does.
It's the ghost.
I mean-
the ghost is everywhere.
This is spooky.
It is
Freudian
everywhere.
slip.
It is a Freudian slip. Just wait till she does show up. So Peppery comes down the stairs and she eyeballs everybody who's there. And about half the people who came up the stairs sort of turn and kind of slip back down as quickly as they can. And she starts walking along, looking.
Yeah, I'm looking everywhere. I'm like on a mission to find this ghost and then fucking kill it. So it's axe out, opening
by the way,
doors, checking.
Going down. Are there any people outside on the bit where I'm at with the door?
So where you are right now, as she runs down the stairs, the door from the main deck does open just after she comes out. And you see Riaris, the master gunner, standing in the doorway. She's got, you know, like kind of sweat beating down her head because it's still pretty hot out, even though it's night. And she looks at you very intently, just these dark brown eyes staring at you. And she's like, "What was the noise?"
I think Slippery
Speak up.
Sill's ghost is down there. Everyone is looking. There's that guy. He's walking around with his axe.
That guy.
Riaris looks at you and she is like, I'm not going on a wild goose chase. I don't believe in ghosts and spirits.
All I can tell you is what I heard. It sounded like Slippery Sill, but she's dead.
She looks at you intently. Just roll me another deception check.
Okay, this can only go well. 17.
All right, let's see. Riaris. What is your insight, my dear? Not very good. Let's find out what happens. All right, so she kind of eyeballs you. And she shakes her head. Shakes her head back and forth and she says, "I think the sea may be getting to you, my dear. I see you actually believe in all of this mumbo jumbo.
How could
You gotta
I
be
not?
careful.
All of this happening all the time.
I don't believe in any of that. But if you want to go hunt a ghost, I guess you can be my guest. But you better be careful. The captain's not very happy with all of this annoyances that have been going on. He's about to lose his temper, and I'm planning on staying out of his way."
Why does he lose his temper often?
No, he likes to be left alone by the problems of the day-to-day with the crew, but lately it seems like Mr. Plug and Master Scourge can't handle all of you lot. So it looks like
Well,
the
I mean,
captain's going to
that's
have to
clearly
deal
a
with
middle-
it.
That's clearly a middle management problem right there. I mean,
Well,
you know,
the
we're
good
all
news is I'm not middle management and I don't have to deal with the problems of middle management. But you do.
I'm trying to hurry her along, by the way. Is she like going away? I've got stuff
Yeah,
to do.
she seemed impatient when the door opened, and she looks at you. She's like, "You should go hunt for your ghost."
All right, I'll go now.
Next time, it won't be me that comes looking for you. And she goes, turns around, walks back out on the deck, slams the door, and you hear her yell muffled through the door that closes. "Oh, don't worry. We just have more ghost problems below deck. Someone may be dead before dawn. Who knows?"
All right,
And she just
the coast is
footsteps
clear,
away.
right? There's no one else around.
Make a perception check.
20, natural 20.
All
God,
of
I've
the
wasted
activity.
that.
Yes,
Sorry?
all of the activity is focused on the deck below you, where you hear Peppery cursing. You can see Holt go by a couple times at the bottom of the stairs. You may pick up a sound of snoring from somewhere below. Maybe Miri has fallen back asleep. And about half the crowd has dispersed. So you are alone, though, in the this small space that the members of the ship's officers usually use for sleeping at night. So you're currently by yourself.
I'm going in her room.
Oh
Duh.
my. All right, so you're going to go in her room. So the door, you go up. You're going to open the door?
Mm-hmm. I want to use another crossbow bolt to sort of knock it open. I don't know why I'm bothered about leaving fingerprints. I just don't want to touch the door. Doors in this place have a habit of doing things to me.
All right, so you go up to the door and you stick the tip of your crossbow bolt in and just kind of use it to click, and it almost was latched, but where you put the crossbow bolt in the seam just kept it from latching, so it just sort of pops open when you do this.
I want to leave that other crossbow bolt there if I can, and just use another one to open it.
Mm-hmm. So, and the door swings open, and inside is this very small space. I mean, this little room is like maybe 5 feet by 5 feet. It's barely got room in the middle for like someone to kind of stand. There's like a small chair. You can see where there's a hammock like balled up in a corner that she must kind of stretch in here and sleep in when she's done working. But there's like a tabletop with like various jars, and there's burn marks and scorch marks and different liquids and things and bottles just all over the space in here. Kind of stacked as high as the ceiling goes, which the ceiling only goes about 7 feet in here. And just, it's the most crowded little cluttered corner you've ever seen.
That's like a prison cell, like 5 by 5 by 7. And crowded and a hammer? That's terrible.
I mean, it's a pirate ship. Space is limited.
Still, though. I mean, I guess she's got a lock, but still. Right, I don't have much time. I want to look around. I want to see what is she doing here? What's going on?
Why don't you roll me? Are you doing just a quick look to see as much as you can see, or do you want to try to be more in depth on this excursion?
Let's start off with a really quick one.
All right, so make a perception check just to kind of take in as much as you can.
Oh my god.
So on quick glance around, you see like there's some bottles that have like, there's actually what looks like maybe organs and things floating in some kind of liquid in a couple bottles. There's a bottle that's completely full of tiny little eyeballs. There's another bottle that on a quick glance you think maybe there's shavings of some kind of talon or something. Ew. There's like 3 or 4 jars with various sized toads in them, and they're like random colors from like a normal, like, you know, like greenish brownish toad to like, there's this toad that's a deep purple toad that's just sitting in its little jar just looking at you intently, and just this whole variety of animal, probably pieces, shavings of fur. It's a definite hodgepodge.
Do I get an idea of what she's actually doing here?
Why don't you roll me an Arcana check?
22.
Ooh, nice. So you have some skill in magics you're learning as you advance your skills. Your best guess would be that she's probably working here with some kind of spell component collection. Like she's maybe experimenting with more advanced spell casting. She seems like she's definitely a more skilled some kind of caster, and this is kind of where she works on her craft.
So how would that work? How would her skills benefit the ship as a whole? I'm just trying to understand this. Like, what have I seen her do around the ship? Or like, what I'm seeing here, how would that benefit the ship enough that she gets her own little cubbyhole?
That is a good question. I would say roll me a straight intelligence check. Or an insight, if you want to do insight.
My intelligence is slightly better than insight, but I'll go for insight. Why not? 7.
All right. Yeah, you're not 100% sure. I mean, the only thing that sets her apart that you can tell is she may be the only other caster that you've noticed besides yourself and Miri at this point. You do know, like, Sandara is a cleric, but Peppery seems to be more of an arcane spellcaster from the little bit you've seen her do and from this collection. She definitely isn't a religious type. Unless it's a religion you've never seen before.
Does she have, like, a notebook or anything lying about?
There is a scattering of parchment. She is not an organized person from what you can see.
I want to grab a parchment that has a lot of her writing on it, in her own handwriting, and roll it up and stick it in my boot.
All right, your boots are getting really full. I love it.
I know, right? I stick it in the other one that doesn't have the dagger in it. You've got to equal it out, you know?
First time this crew gets to shore, I think Antoinette's buying boots of holding. she needs more space in her boots.
She does. I'm going to buy boots that are basically like 3 sizes up so that I have more stuffing space.
That works. Just wear big
but
socks.
Don't worry,
I'll
be using all this stuff very, very soon.
All right, so you grab probably... You don't have time to really make sense of it because you're not sure how much time you have in here, but you grab like a very full piece of parchment. Like this one has a lot of little notes jotted in margins, and it's got some sketches and things on it like that. So meanwhile, while you are inside this little closet space, Holt, you're down in the middeck, and you are searching for the ghost, and Peppery is down there with you, and she is letting out a slew of curses under her breath as she is looking through and searching intently.
Yeah, right there with her. So let's what's on that floor again? Like it's cutthroats and room. It's the kitchen, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Right. So
yep,
I look in there. I know that Fish Guts closed the door. I opened the door.
All right, so Bart, you are abandoning your hand, and the door opens, and as Holt enters the kitchen,
I jump into a kung fu fighting pose as I look at the door.
Right, no, it's just me.
Oh,
I'm looking for the ghost. You
the
see
ghost? No, just
that?
a lot
Antoinette
of
says the
chickens.
slippery seals running around.
Oh,
Like the actual ghost. It wasn't just like weird magical hoopla with ice and whatnot. It's just the actual ghost, you know, something I can kill.
Bart reaches for his sword.
No, but we haven't seen her. So,
how do you know there's a ghost then?
No?
No.
I'll keep looking.
No. I'll keep an eye out.
Right. Next room.
All right, so you go to the next door inside the galley, and it's the quartermaster's store, but as you turn the knob, it's locked. So it looks like Cutthroat remembered to lock the door tonight before she left the room.
Fuck. You have the key for this? Bart? Key?
Oh, no. Me? Well, oh,
Room.
no, I don't. You
Alright.
have to ask Cutthroat about it.
All right.
Pluck
Now,
flies off Bart's head and lands on your shoulder, Holt, and looks at you and goes, "Screaming? Screaming? Screaming?"
you want me to scream? Why? What was this bird asking me to scream?
No, he just does that. That's my friend Pluck.
All right.
Pluck! Pluck!
See, that's what you should be saying. That's useful information, saying your name. I'm Holt.
Not a dead man. Not a dead man.
Yeah, I'm still alive. That's very clever of you. Smart bird. All right. I'm kind of busy now, so why don't you go back over to Bart there. There you go. There you go. All right.
He, like, nips at you when you move him, like he's offended that you're moving him away. But he will go to Bart and sit back on Bart's hat.
There you go.
Pluck.
So
and
probably
meanwhile,
not in there.
Peppery
Hopefully
comes up
not.
behind you. Do you see a ghost?
No, it's not in here. I thought it might be in there, but I don't got the key. And yeah, it's a small room anyway. Why would the ghost be in there? I don't know.
She pokes you in the chest. You're too solid to be the ghost. She looks in at Bart. Are you bleeding?
Yes, I cut my hand.
Can I have some of that?
Sure.
What sort of question is that? That's.
If you'd
Oh,
like.
you hand you. That's. Oh, God, so.
You know.
She comes over and she takes the like rag you've been staunching the bleeding with, and she like folds it up, puts it in a pocket,
Okay, there you
walks
go.
out,
Weird woman.
walks past you, Holt.
Right, where haven't we checked yet? Have we gone in there?
She walks over and swings open the door to Cutthroat and Fish Guts' room. Cutthroat stands back up with her axe and looks from the doorway. Peppery's like, is there a ghost in there? Do you have a ghost? Cutthroat looks, shakes her head. Fish Guts just like, nope. No, we have a chicken and a goat and a half-orc and a human who's extremely tired. But no,
are any of the animals like possessed? Maybe, like if the ghost could like hide in the animals, that'd be a clever trick.
They're possessing the animals? You hear from the kitchen?
I mean, they might be. I don't know. I don't know how ghosts work.
Well, Fish Guts looks at you and says, well, I have heard stories that ghosts can possess people. I don't see why they can't possess an animal.
Right? Any of these chickens look suspicious?
Line them up!
Fish Guts looks at the chicken on his shoulder and looks at you, and he's like, all of the chickens are suspicious.
Well, what's got to be done? I
Don't
feel
hurt
weird
my
killing all the
chickens.
chickens just because they look suspicious.
Don't hurt my chickens, Holt.
Yeah.
If there's a ghost in one of my chickens, we just are gonna have to live with it.
That also feels wrong. Right, so you keep an eye on the chickens, and if you're like really confident that the ghost is inside one of the chickens, you come get me, I'll kill it, and then we'll see what happens.
He looks at the chicken on his shoulder and he says, okay, Black-Hearted Beelzebub, if any of the chickens start acting funny, you are to tell me, and then I'll tell Holt. All right? And the chicken's like, whoop, whoop. Pecks him on the side of the head. Black-Hearted Beelzebub says that she'll let you know.
All right, that's an odd name for a chicken, but, you know, you do you.
The chicken looks somewhat offended.
Don't look at me like that. It is an odd name. All right, I'm just going to go away now.
At this point, Peppery has made her way back across the hold and is looking down at the barrels of gunpowder. Is this a ghost?
That's a barrel of gunpowder. If the ghost is in there, we've got bigger problems.
And Miri, you're lying there and you feel something poke.
Oh, that's Miri. He's trying to sleep. You should leave him alone. He's had a rough day.
What do you want?
He's sleeping on barrels.
Right. I'm just going to go check over there near the stairs. And I'm going to go look at the stairs that lead to the captain's quarters, the officers, area.
All right. When you go and you look up the stairs that go to the captain's quarters, you see Tawny standing in the open doorway with her arms crossed, looking down at you.
You haven't seen the ghost, have you?
Not yet. I'm still waiting.
Right, you've been there the whole time, so you did not float past you or something?
No, I just came out of the door here, and I haven't seen it go by. It's not in the captain's cabin.
Fuck.
Oh, I'm tired of this. I'm gonna whisper under my breath and move my hands, and I'm gonna cast Sleep centered on Holt.
I'm definitely gonna
roll some dice.
It will catch Tawny in this as well, so whoever else happens to be there.
Oh, that's pretty good.
How many hit points does Holt have?
Holt has a fair amount. He has 20.
Holt falls asleep. Holt hits the deck.
All right, well,
Tawny looks down the stairs.
Yeah, Tawny's looking right at me as I keel over, so... Let's say I nick myself on my axe, because that's just karma.
Now maybe we can all get some sleep And I roll over and pull my cloak above my head.
Peppery throws her arms up and says, "Ah, I haven't seen a ghost. I'm not dealing with this." And she heads for the stairs, going back upstairs. Tawny comes down and sits on the bottom step, staring down at Holt like... She doesn't try to wake him, but she sort of puts a boot and, like, kind of moves his boot just to see if he moves. Shrugs her shoulders, goes back up the stairs and goes into the door and shuts it.
Bart is just poking his eyes out of the kitchen door, looking around, his sword sort of out, and then Pluck on his hat, also looking around the door.
That's a dead man. That's a dead man.
I hope not. I like him.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, Antoinette, make me a perception check.
That's a 13.
All right, you hear Peppery Longfarthing cursing and storming up the stairs.
I cast Fog Cloud.
Ooh.
I was still moving.
Mm-hmm.
I cast Fog Cloud on where the door is. And then ever so swiftly... I mean, the door was ajar. It was not shut. Open the door and go away.
All right, so you cast Fog Cloud.
Indeed.
Let me see. So you roll me a stealth check to slip out of the room.
Stealth. I'm so good at that. Oh, 19. Apparently I'm good at that.
I mean, all right, let's see. So, so you slip out of you cast the fog cloud. So the top of this whole room at the top of the stairs goes just clouded. Whoosh. You hear her footsteps stop on the stairs, and you hear her like, and then as you slip out of the room, she, let's see. So you hear her just stop for a moment, and then, all of a sudden the door that leads out to the main deck blows open and crashes against the inside of the cabin as you sort of try to take cover and hide. And this gust of wind comes billowing in from outside on the deck and blows the fog cloud like down past her, like just puffing out like her clothes, and her hair frizzes up even bigger as it clears the fog cloud. And she storms up the last 3 steps and, Ghost? Ghost, are you here? Ghost? And then she sort of looks over, and you see her eyes kind of settle on you where you've tried to hide. And she's like, you don't look like a ghost.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
She looks, her eyes like twitch from you to the open door to her little room back to you. And she looks back at the door that's open to the deck, and she's like, and the wind switches direction and blows back up the stairs. And Bart, you're down below, so you see this gust of wind and this fog cloud like dissipate into the main hold. And then there was like 3 crew members still left. You see them bolt downstairs.
Yeah, I closed the door to the kitchen.
And the door, and so Antoinette, up where you are, the door slams shut again. And she's still staring at you. Now her hair is like whipped forward and like all frizzed up in the front, and her clothes are like settling. And she's just looking at you with these big, big sized, intensive eyes, like just looking at you.
Well, that could have gotten better.
Y'all are being loud. Keep it down up there.
Tries to look back down the stairs.
this is me asking as the player.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like I could take her in a fight?
Oh, that's a good question.
I mean, she's this skinny, spindly woman, but she, you know she knows magic.
And how to fight.
I'm assuming I hear all of this, Jeanette, pretty well.
I mean, you definitely hear this because you're at the bottom of the staircase that leads up. You're kind of around the corner, so you can't see up the stairs, but you can hear this.
I'm going to stick my head up, look, mumble under my breath, move my hands, and cast Sleep again on the two of them.
You're so
right.
dumb without shenanigans, aren't you?
Oh my god.
Miri just wants to sleep.
roll some hit points. All right, Antoinette, how many hit points do you have?
11.
So, Peppery is staring at you, eyes wide, and you all of a sudden are like, and hit the deck. Peppery, like, looks down the stairs. And so, what's Bart doing in the kitchen at the end of after you close the door?
Well, he climbs into one of the cabinets and then he just stays there, clutching his sword.
All right, so let's see.
He's being quiet. I won't cast Sleep on Bart.
Well, that's good.
So, Holt and Bart and Miri and Antoinette, the next thing all of you know, having gone to sleep, and no one tried to rouse you, those that were put to sleep magically, apparently, you hear the ship's bell ring in the morning. So, Holt, you find yourself sprawled on the floor.
They didn't even move
bottom, the bottom of the stairs where you landed. Your back, like, it hurts on your back hip where you, like, maybe fell on and slept on your axe.
Mm-hmm.
Miri, you are curled up comfortably in your spot where you were sleeping amongst the barrels. You might have a little crick in your back because it wasn't as comfortable as it could be, but it wasn't terrible.
Blissful sleep.
Bart, you wake up and there is a goat snuggled up with you.
Oh.
Oh.
The cupboard door is slightly ajar. It looks like the goat forced his way in sometime during the night.
Give him a scritch.
That's pretty great.
And Antoinette, you wake up in this tiny little room full of bottles and parchment and things. You are bound by a rope. There's a gag in your mouth. And Peppery is sitting on top of the counter across, just staring at you. As if she's just been up all night waiting to see when you woke up.
Normal.
Okay, in my head, I blame Miri. I feel like this is payback for whatever I did to him before and everything, but I still think he started it.
How do you know it's me?
Do I still have my boots on?
Yes, she did not take any, like, she didn't take your boots off or anything. It looks like she literally found a rope, tied you up, dragged you into the room, set you in the corner.
Rope off me, didn't she?
Possibly. It may be your rope. I mean, there's a lot of rope on board the ship, but dragged you in the room, shut the door, and has just been sitting watching you.
All right. Does she look angry?
Creepy.
Make an insight check.
Oh god. I'm trying to work out how to play this right now. This is going to be interesting. 12.
She doesn't look angry to you. She looks what would I call it? I'd say she looks sort of like interested, like you're a, you know, like somebody finds a puzzle or something to solve.
Curious.
And it's like, you know, that curiosity of like, what is this new thing? What makes this tick? I would like to know. Like, you may be her newfound toy for the moment. Let's put it this way.
With that somehow, I think. Then again, considering she has dead animals around her, maybe I can't work with that. I don't know.
Yeah, you definitely notice a new rag on the counter with blood on it that wasn't there when you were in here the night before.
I wouldn't know it's
You have no idea what that is.
Oh no. I mean, first things first, do I feel like I've been injured? Do I have any wounds that would indicate that that's my rag of blood?
Quick kind of assessment, because you can't, you know, you can move your head a little bit. You don't notice any injuries. You don't see any signs of like that you've been hurt, so you don't know whose blood that may be, but don't think it's yours.
All right, that's a relief. Is she doing anything now that she knows that I'm awake?
She is just staring at you with this quiet intensity.
I cock my head at her and I look back.
She gets up and she walks closer and kind of like leans in. Gives you... Sleep good?
I've had better. How about you?
Better.
Oh, yeah.
If I take that off, are you gonna be trouble?
I shrug my shoulders as good as I can with the constraints. And shake my head a little.
She like reaches around and like pulls it loose and takes it off.
Does she do this gently or harshly?
Not neither. Like she just kind of like pulls it loose. She doesn't do it with an intent to hurt, you don't think, just to get it off your... She puts it down on the table next to the bloody rag.
She's collecting all of our DNA, guys. Oh, God. Thank you.
Did you sleep well?
I've had better. I've had worse. How did you sleep last night?
I didn't sleep.
I suspect it's probably because I took up your space here. I'm sorry, I guess. I would have thought someone like you would have more space. You certainly deserve it.
Don't need it. This is good. If I had more space, I'd just make a mess of things.
But you'd have more space to do your things.
Oh, I just cut the things I need up into little pieces to fit in the space I use.
I see. What exactly is it that you do?
This and that. Captain trusts me, you see. And I make sure that we come through things okay.
Like how? Like what kind of magic do you do? It's really cool.
I have all sorts of tricks up my sleeve. But what about you? I'm more interested in you.
Cool. What do you want to know?
What are you up to?
I am here to be a pirate.
Is that all? Just a pirate?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't initially my choice. I just wanted to travel the world, you know, see things, and found myself waking up on this ship. Still don't know what it's called. People keep telling me, but like I keep forgetting. And now I'm here being a pirate on the Destiny or whatever it's called. Water Song. I don't know.
You don't even know the name of the ship you're on.
Well, I've not been off the ship. Is it written on the side?
So meanwhile, out in the rest of the ship, so the rest of you hear the bell sound, and the rest of the crew are making their way up for the daily task. You definitely notice as you're getting up, it feels like the heat has broken this morning, like overnight. There's definitely a little bit less humid and just oppressive, and as people are kind of running upstairs, they're sort of commenting to each other as, I think this is, it's probably a nice day. I don't hear any rain. It doesn't feel warm. You see Jack Scrimshaw kind of going by. He kind of gives a tentative wave to you all, and he's like, hey, as he goes running up the stairs. So what are the rest of you three doing at this point?
Well,
Grumblingly going up the stairs towards where the bell rang, and I'm supposed to be. Realizing I still have my axe and I don't need that to work, but I'll deal with that later.
Yeah, you can take it. Seeing that he made it through the night and wasn't haunted by any ghosts, I think Bart is pretty excited because they're doing like pirate training, right? So he's like, heck yeah.
I might need the axe. Yay.
So I'm gonna get up, stretch on the barrels, looking around, feeling a little bit better, but still tired. Yeah, just still tired. Then I kind of look around and I dilly-dally a little bit. I'm kind of the last one up. I look to see where I sent, Paladin Hulk to sleep, and I see he's not there anymore. And I see that Cat's not at that spot anymore, and I go, they must have gotten up. And I slowly make myself way out onto the deck.
All right, so the three of you, along with the rest of the crew, come out on the deck, and you can see that while most people are being led, to their various normal daily tasks, you see the ship's gunner, Riaris, tall, kind of lanky, like thin, but you can tell, like, well-muscled woman, dark skin. She's got this big, dark, curly hair everywhere. Just standing at the edge of the ship's rail on the port side. And she looks at you three. She looks over at Jack Scrimshaw, and she's like, no regular tasks for you today. Today you get to learn how to do boarding of another ship, so that you're ready when we run across another seafaring vessel, and you know what you're doing.
Sounds amazing.
So
Where's Cat? Where's Antoinette?
Oh, that one I know.
Yeah.
He should be here.
Riaris looks around and she's like, yes, we're missing someone. Ship's bell's rung twice now. If she's late, she's going to get lashings. Where is this Antoinette? Oh, she's the one I saw last night. What's she up to this morning?
She pointed out that slippery seal was haunting the deck.
Yes, she's calling out about ghosts last night. What happened?
Right.
Did the ghost... Oh, maybe the ghost got her.
No, the last I saw, she was with that crazy woman that has that that sets the boat on fire periodically.
Riaris looks at you, and she leans down and she goes, you should be careful. Peppery's an old friend of the captain's, and he has a soft spot in his heart for her, and you wouldn't want to make him mad by calling her crazy.
I'm just saying that's the last time I saw Antoinette was with her. So maybe we should check in with Peppery to find if Antoinette is there.
I mean, Peppery's an officer, right? If she's with her, then she's just doing special work and it's all good.
Yeah, I guess so.
But she should be here. She needs to learn this.
That's true.
Should she, though? Is she really the kind of person we want boarding ships?
She can swim
I
and
think
breathe
she'll just
underwater.
get hurt, honestly.
More than me.
Is this one of those situations where you listen into a conversation about you and you hear what other people truly think?
She's stronger than I am.
Yeah, about that. Should you really be here?
Wow.
You think
I
you're
don't
gonna be
know.
all right at this? You still look tired, mate.
I am still tired.
It's all right. You're not always in good shape, good spirits when you have to board a pirate ship, so it should be fine.
We're boarding a pirate ship? I thought we were boarding another ship.
It
Well,
might be a pirate ship. You
it
never
might,
know.
like, who knows? It could be anything.
Because if it's just a regular old ship, this should be easy. They don't know how to use guns or swords or what to do about boarders.
Yeah, they do. They hire people specifically for that, to stand guard.
Not most of them. It's too expensive.
Well,
They just give the crew rapiers and say, you get to defend the ship. And they don't know how to use the rapiers.
Bart shakes his sword.
All right. Well, you know, that's I'm gonna. Phipps, why don't you come over here? And
Oh.
Aretta, yep, you too. I'm gonna have you help. You're gonna throw things at these ones when they're coming across the ropes.
Excellent.
Well, I mean, if she misses out on her training, that's well, Master Scourge has been wanting to use the lash, so I guess he'll be happy this evening after rum rations. So, but the rest of you, I don't have time to waste here. We'll worry about finding your missing crewmate at some point. That's not really my job. Master Scourge! And he looks up from where he is with the other members of the crew, and he says, "What?" And we're missing the Antoinette. We're missing. She's not here, and she's missing out on her training. You might want to send someone to find her. And you see his, like, fingers twitch above where his whip sits on his hip.
She was with Peppery. She was with Peppery last night. I would have checked with Peppery first.
You see him, like, lick his, like, golden teeth. And he's, like, walks away toward the door leading down below decks. Clipping across, heavy footfalls. And,
Ice.
Oh my god. Oh, man.
Let's see.
What good is shape water if you don't use it?
I mean, yeah.
So, at what point, Jeanette, did you realize that we're not keeping on track with this campaign at all?
Oh, it's...
What session was it?
Hey, it is what it is. I'm you know, I am not responsible for the pirates that you make angry and when they get pissed and when things happen. I just stand back and go, oh boy.
Yeah.
Once this dude figures out that it's you're dead.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
I talked with my hand.
That's already not doing well here, but yeah.
So what's your spell save DC? As I use that as the
12.
ice a 12. All right, so.
Yeah.
He does not fall. He slides to the door. Like, he slides the and grabs onto the handle and looks down under his feet, whipping his head around and looking around.
I will have turned back to my training and paying attention to that.
His like, looking around, like, and he doesn't seem to know where it came from again. Opens the door and steps through the door and slams the door shut behind him angrily. And you hear Conchabar from the rigging up above. What is it about him and his is somebody grease his boots every night or something? The last 2 weeks he's just been slipping and sliding along the deck like an idiot.
It's the ghost.
Only Ben said slippery sill left us.
It literally says slippery. Oh, I only just made the connection.
One of these times, if he's not careful, he's gonna slip and go right over the edge. Boop. No more, Master Scourge. Oh no, da. Oh dear, we've lost Master Scourge. It's just terrible. And he just gives a wry smile.
I hope this fucking ghost doesn't mess with our training today, because like, this might actually be dangerous.
Conjabar drops from the rigging, and he stands amongst you for a second. He looks at Riaris, and he tips his hat and bows. Ah, it's good to see you, Master Gunner. Are you going to teach these fools how to be more pirate-like? He elbows Holt. Definitely need a little training, right? Right, my friend?
Do. Yeah, I would like some training, yeah. I'm excited.
And then he lowers his voice and he says, so, you know all this talk about a ghost? I was wondering, what if it's just taken up residence inside Master Scourge and that's why he's such a sourpuss? Just saying, I mean...
They do possess people. Like, is there anyone who has been acting out of sorts?
Well, Master Scourge is just out of sorts to begin with.
Peppery's been out of sorts.
There's also all these people who've been passing out for no reason. Like, what if that's because the ghost was in them and is then leaving them?
That's a terrifying thought. He looks over at Phipps, who's standing off to the side with Aretta. And Phipps looks at Aretta, looks back at Conchabar, looks at Holt. I don't have a ghost in me.
Maybe. Yeah, let me give you this a try. And I walk up to him. I'm like, boo!
Ah!
No? Ah, nuts. I thought that might scare the ghost out.
You do know I'm going to throw a lot of rotten lettuce at your head now, right?
Well, yeah, that's a job. You better give it everything you've got, Phipps.
Everyone who's supposed to be training, get your asses in the boat.
Right. Do I need this axe for this training exercise? Because I had it when I was hunting a ghost, and no.
You have to put it in your teeth.
She takes the axe, she puts it in her belt. She's like, "Give."
Oh yes. Oh, fine. I'm gonna get that back, right?
Gives you this really like look, and just like, the boat is down below. Get in the boat.
Right.
I'm gonna go over to the edge and just dive into the water.
Make an acrobatic check. Let's see how nice you dive.
Oh my god.
That would be a natural one.
Is there actually a shark? That's amazing.
There's not a shark, but you know those videos, like those America's Funniest Home videos, where you see the person dive and instead of like they like belly flop, and you can see how painful it is. That's Miri. Miri jumps off and like there may have been the intention of like arcing and just and there's this whack as Miri kind of maybe glances off the boat that's attached below.
Does the grating start when we get to the boat?
I'm okay. Ow.
Ouch! Miri, take 5 points of damage from slamming into the boat on your way down. That was a solid hit. It's a good distance down to the boat.
And I'm gonna climb up over the edge of the boat into it, just kind of lay there.
So the rest of you climb down. Yeah, just roll an athletics check.
It's probably
still,
to see. You know, fairly dangerous.
Yeah, it can be. The boat's moving. The small rowboat's only tied off.
The rope's probably a bit wet from just the spray.
Bart, roll me an athletics check to climb on down.
Oh, no. Okay.
Come on, you're fine.
Oh,
yeah, see,
fine.
You're great.
Bart knows how to use ropes.
All right. So, so you three and Riaris will climb down as well. Let's see how she does. What is your athletics, my friend?
Is Jack with us, or is Jack throwing?
He's standing at the ship's rail, looking with a little shy smile on his face.
Got it.
He just sort of looks at you all like. As Fish Guts brings out like a very large, he lumbers up with a very large crate, and Bart, you recognize pretty much anything from the galley that has gone bad at this point, as far as food rations and things, is in this crate. As he sort of puts it down,
I shout out, "Oh, Phipps, look at your lunch!"
Phipps reaches in and picks up some very moldy-looking solid like bread, And you see him kind of squeeze it, and you can even hear like a little bit of the crunch. And he just looks
Gross.
down and smiles at you, and just kind of holds it up like. So, as you all are getting ready, meanwhile, inside this tiny little room. So, Antoinette, you are still face to face with Peppery, who you get the feeling she's not sure what she wants to do about you in the moment.
She should just let me go.
But she's so uncertain. She sort of sits back on top of the counter. This time she's sort of right above where you're sitting, kind of tied up to the little chair that she had kind of there. And she crosses her arms and she looks down at you and she says, I didn't find a ghost last night. I found you. I found a sleeping person in the gunpowder. The other one fell asleep on the stairs. There was a lot of pigs and a lot of goats. The chicken seemed upset in the kitchen. But no ghost. I don't know what to think about this ghost problem we're having. It's interrupting my work, and it's getting to be a headache. Also, I have a question. I'm pretty sure I shut that door. And she motions at the door behind her. And I went downstairs looking for a ghost. And then I came back. And the door's open. And you're there. And there's this whole foggy thing going on. I know how to do that too. No? Nothing? No comment?
I mean, last I remember is I fell asleep. Just straight knocked out. Did you also fall asleep?
I told you I didn't sleep last night. You did fall down asleep. And I don't think you were that tired.
So there's a bunch of people on the ship that are just mysteriously falling asleep randomly where they stand? That's unusual, don't you think?
Oh, well, I mean, people can be made to fall asleep.
People
can be made to do a lot of things.
There are strange things afoot on this boat, don't you think?
Oh, yes, I do. It's been an interesting couple of weeks on board the boat.
I am just trying to find out what's going on with Slippery Sill's ghost. Everywhere I go, there seems to be screams of a ghost. There's not a single night that goes past without some shenanigans from someone. I just want to get on with my life. Now, I thought, and I don't know why, because I don't know you. I don't know what you do. I have seen you do some things, and they've been pretty good. I've also seen you do things with fire, which I still think is a bit weird on a wooden boat, but besides the point. I thought you might be doing some magic which might have some alternative effects, which might have caused these ghost things to happen. And I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't you. That is all. I care for the ship. Well, I care for my own safety, but by the extension, the ship. There are some nice people. That guy in the kitchen's kind of nice.
So, is this a deception? Or
I have no idea what this is. I think this is. I mean, it's utterly deception, obviously.
All right.
Perhaps, I don't know, one of those.
So go for it. Roll a deception check. That's really good deception check.
Oh my god!
All right.
Oh.
All right. So you see her watching as you're talking. She's watching your talk, your eyes, your body language, and she leans in real close and she reaches in her pocket and pulls out a copper piece, and like flips it in her fingers, up and down, and she says, you know, on a pirate ship, on any ship, you gotta trust the people that you crew with, because one bad apple can sink the whole thing, and it's very dangerous. And I wanna trust the people that I'm traveling with, and you just don't strike me as that trustworthy. So my friend, I'm gonna do a thing, and I'm gonna see how much I can trust you. And then after I decide how much I can trust you, I'm gonna decide what I'm gonna do with you. And she flicks the copper coin into her hand, and she starts to mutter an incantation as she's holding the copper coin. As
Do I
she
recognize
does
this?
You can make an Arcana check.
14.
Let's see. What level spells can you cast, first of all? You can do first level right now?
First level, yeah. I was gonna say first level.
So yeah, you don't know what she's casting in this moment. Like, you're not sure you've ever seen this as she rubs the coin. But as she is muttering and rubbing the copper coin, and the copper coin sparks kind of like arc across the surface of it, and when they do,
Question.
Yes.
My minor illusion is somatic material. Would I be able to cast that?
No, because you can't move your hands, so you can't do the somatic component. She tied you up.
That's fair. That's fair.
So, as she incants this spell and rubs the coin disappears in a spark of lightning. And it arcs between you and her for a second, so you will take 4 points of lightning damage as that just zaps through you. And then I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw as she is staring at you intently.
Come on, this is the roll.
Okay. So she stares at you intently as the copper coin has vanished. You feel this electricity arc between you two, and you can feel like almost like prying eyes in the surface of your mind as you realize that she's poking around in there, sort of looking to see what's going on. Let's see. So what would you say is the surface thoughts that Antoinette has in this moment?
Oh shit. Just say yeah, basically I'm in trouble, danger, that kind of stuff.
Okay, so yeah, so she gets mostly these emotions, and then she kind of like hops down from the table where she's sitting and gets right up and like puts her hands on your knees and looks very intently and focuses. Just make me another wisdom saving throw as she seems to be trying to delve deeper.
It's fine. Everything is fine. That's a 2.
It is a 2. Wow.
Everything's fine.
So, all right, what is your emotional state and something that is looming large in your mind? So basically a worry or something?
My this is so not going to speak well for Antoinette here. My worry is being discovered for being the source of Slippery Sill's ghost. And yeah, I guess so like above the table, the reason I'm doing all this is because I think there's an injustice on the board on board. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a few people that should be gone, including the captain. And by alienating his senior staff against him, with shenanigans, getting rid of him.
All right. And finally, I want you to roll me an intelligence roll. Straight intelligence. As you feel her probing, you try to push her out before she gets the full gist of what's going on deeper in your mind. That's a good roll.
16.
Let's see what she... Now, I'm going to roll for her. So she needs to not beat you for her. You force her out. So as she starts to delve in deeper and she sort of starts to see this bigger picture, she only gets like a small kind of glimpse into your concern before you will her out of your head. And she kind of like... And you feel the connection break. And then there's a bang, 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 bang on the door behind her. Damn it.
Saved by the bell, right?
She just points a finger at you, and then she takes one step because there's no room to really go further, and she opens the door, and the big figure in his big coat is standing there of Master Scourge. He looks past her at you. He looks at Peppery. He looks at you. I'm missing that one. She's supposed to be training. And Peppery's like, she's been up to bothering me, so I've been dealing with her. She looks back at you. She gives you this wicked grin. And she goes, I'm done with her for now, though. You can take her for training. Hopefully the sharks don't eat her. And she waves her hand, and you feel the ropes go slack. And you can get up from your chair. And she just smiles at you.
Foolishly, I do a little bow.
Mm-hmm.
And then go past her and to the top of the deck.
All right. Master Scourge waits a second. You hear him, like, just at Peppery, who just doesn't say anything. You just hear the door slam. And then you go out on deck. Where you come out on deck just in time to see Bart go over the rail and start climbing down out of sight. And then the Master Gunner goes to climb down into the boat. And Bart, you're almost to the bottom, and she falls past you because she loses her grip on the ladder on her way down. And splashes into the water.
Wow.
Also clipping the side of the boat.
Oh my god.
In the same style as Miri. She takes 3 hit points of damage from the fall.
Oh my god.
And that kills
So
her because she's an NPC.
No, she surfaces
bleeds out.
cursing, completely soaked, her hair drenched, her clothes drenched, and pulls herself up into the boat alongside
I'll pull
the
her
dripping
in.
wet Miri.
She doesn't have to do that all alone.
Were we supposed to do
Alright.
that, ma'am?
She just looks at you from where you are on the ladder. Get down.
Okay.
And then Jack Scrimshaw looks around at you, Antoinette, and he's like, You're late. Get over here. Oh, you're gonna be in so much trouble.
I have a feeling this is not going to be anything compared to my morning.
What
And
you gotta
so what do I have to do?
You gotta get in the boat. You're supposed to be doing training, boarding training.
Right. So where's the boat?
He points over the railing down there with the rest of them.
I jump
You
in the
okay?
water. I jump in the water.
Everybody's jumping in the water.
Make an acrobatics check for me.
My god.
Don't roll a 1.
21.
Oh my god,
20.
beautiful.
This is how you do it.
So after your night-long ordeal of being tied up, you stretch.
I had a night's
Move.
sleep, okay?
Yeah. And you gracefully jump off the boat and into the water below. Psh. You just see Riaris just... Oh my god. I almost want to ask them to put Chum in the water. Anyway, get in the boat! Let's go! This shouldn't take all day. The rest of you up there, well, Jack, get one more to help you. And you see Sindara walk up and smile, holding a head of lettuce. She just smiles down at you all. She's like, don't worry, I won't go too hard on you.
You're supposed to go as hard as you can.
Yeah, no
It's going to be
mercy.
good training.
She just winks, like, oh, I know.
Right, good.
Raris points at Bart and Holt, and she's like, come on, you're going to row us about 40 feet off the boat out that way. You do notice as you're rowing away that they have dropped anchor so that the ship doesn't outdistance you in the little rowboat, like, because you need to do this training. So as you get out there, and you're rowing, you see Riaris is pulling up, and she's got 4 grappling hooks already tied to lengths of rope. The rope looks like it's probably a 50-foot length of rope. And she sort of hands them out, one to Miri. She hands one to Antoinette. She puts one by Bart and by Holt, because you're rowing. And when you get out to about 40 feet from the ship, she takes an anchor, and she kind of drops an anchor for your little boat so that you're sort of anchored at the right distance. And she looks back and she says, so, this is the deal. You've got to take those ropes. You've got to get the grappling hook to attach to the ship over there. Once you attach the grappling hook there, you need to tie off your rope securely. And then you need to go from here to there across your rope and successfully cover the distance and get back to the ship. That's your task.
What bit of the ship am I aiming at? Do I want to get it in the rigging or like...
You want to get
rail?
it so it's secure enough to get you across to that other ship. Because when we're boarding another ship, that's your goal, is to get on that ship, subdue that crew or kill them, and take over that ship so we can get the loot that they have in their hold.
Now, if those were my enemies, I'd just chuck it at their heads. But...
Well...
Yes, but if you aim for their head, and then you don't secure it on your first throw, you're losing time, and it gives them time to respond. Whereas if you aim it for the rail... or the rigging, and you secure it, and you get across quickly, it's easier to go after them man to man than to have them firing crossbow bolts at you as you cross the ropes.
Right,
Although, if you throw it at their head and it gets lodged in their eye or something, you know. But...
Well, now you have to pull back a body, which is heavy in the water when it's wet, and then extract it. Have you ever tried to extract a hook from a fish?
Yes.
No. Oh, yes. Well, now think about a human skull. It's much more solid, more bone to deal with.
Kind of crunchy, too.
It's probably going to be good
be.
practice for them, too, to like stand aside as we chuck these heavy hooks at them.
Good point.
Oh, and their job, and she points back at the 4 people who are standing on deck, they're going to try to knock your asses off your ropes into the drink. That's their job.
I mean, lead isn't that heavy, so I think we'll be all right.
Now here's the thing. Master Scourge has been very unhappy because he hasn't been able to use his whip of late. So, if you get knocked off your rope 3 times, he's going to whip you tonight.
Great. Okay.
6 lashes, in fact. Well, Master Scourge is a cantankerous fellow, if you haven't noticed. And if you haven't noticed, you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
Whip kind of tickles, so don't want that.
So, all right, well, I guess that's about all I have to say. It's now up to you all to do this. I'm not involved. I'm just gonna sit here in the boat and watch you fall off. Go into the drink.
Thanks for the vote of confidence. All right, I'm gonna go and stand on the side of the rowboat with my grappling hook and say, "All right, mates, let's do this."
You want to go first, Bart?
Yeah, I'm gonna give all 3 of you Bardic Inspiration as well.
Ooh. Yeah. All right, so when he does that, we are gonna roll some initiatives because I'm gonna roll for the others who are gonna be tossing stuff at you.
I still think this is a really weird training, but hey ho. There's lots of weird things about this ship. By the way, do I have a second to check if the parchment's still in my boots?
You can, because you have the time that it takes to row the boat out.
That's true.
Is it still there?
The parchment is still there. It is very waterlogged as you have jumped fully clothed into the drink.
It did occur to me as I was jumping. But it's fine. It's fine.
Alright, let's see. 12 for Holt. And Antoinette, what did you get? 11.
Pretty low.
Okay, let me see what my friends get. Where are you, fellow pirates? Oh, there they are. Boom. Initiative. They also get 11. So. Alright. So. So Bart, you inspire the, how do you inspire your friends?
Well, I think it's just me being so, like, pumped and ready to go, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's inspiring to see. I got a pirate hat on, I got my weapon in my teeth, and I got a parrot on my hat.
Hat. It's a pretty cool hat.
Let's do it.
I'm ready.
So Bart, roll me. This is going to be basically a ranged attack roll.
Okay.
But you have disadvantage because of how far out you are.
Okay, well, let's see how it goes. 12.
A 12. Let's see. So you all watch as Bart flings the grappling hook, and it sails up and over the 40-foot distance, and you watch as Jack sort of steps aside, and it hits the railing and wraps, and you see it boom, attach. Roll me a dexterity roll to, now you have to tie it off to the boat quickly before you can hop up onto the rope and start going across.
13.
All right, so Bart, you tie it off, and you're now, you've got a rope attached, and you've got it tied off, and so you are ready to leap up onto this rope on your next turn and start making your way across to the ship. So next, Holt, you watch as Bart is very successful in attaching his grappling hook securely.
Nice.
This is
Good job.
This is.
Thank you.
It's also going to be a ranged attack roll
Yep.
with disadvantage for the distance.
Well, here goes my normal attack roll. Disadvantage, so
All
that's
right.
a 9.
So, you throw it, and it arcs across, and your grappling hook, it doesn't wrap around the railing, but you see it like, it comes up right below where the railing is, and you see it kind of like clip in, and as you pull, it feels like it pulls taut, like it's got a good grip, even though it landed where it did. So now make me a dexterity roll to tie off your rope.
I thought I missed. All right. Dexterity.
All right, let's see. All right, so that is like your hand kind of slips. You almost like lose the knot, but you just barely feel like you pull this knot tight. So you think it's good to go. So both you and Bart have your ropes secured. As
Really, with a
you
5?
watch.
I don't know. I'm not feeling super secure.
That's actually the DC for the knot for this end.
Really?
Like,
all right.
Yeah, it's not too hard. But you're all pirates. You know ropes.
Of course.
Yep.
All right, Antoinette. So
Alright.
you watch. There's 2 ropes successfully tied off now, as you and Miri are sort of standing there holding your ropes readied.
Yeah, I'll throw my rope.
Do it.
What is it, Dex?
It's going to be a ranged attack roll with disadvantage.
Right. How do I
You
make
can
So
it?
you
use
have like a
Dex or
bow.
Strength.
Oh, bow.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Like that one? No.
Oh,
Never mind.
How to do it, yeah.
Antoinette does it with very much grace. Like even her arse is kind of like, as you watch it sail across, and it sort of hits around the mast and pulls tight. Like you kind of overshot the rail and just pull it tight. Now roll me a dexterity to tie off your rope at this end.
Watch it all go downhill. Ah!
All right, so you tie it off. You watch as the 4 pirates who are waiting on the other end kind of line up where the 3 ropes are, and so it looks like Phipps kind of sets himself up at the end of Miri's rope, or at the end of Antoinette's rope. Aretta sets herself up opposite Bart's rope, and Jack is like standing there opposite where Holt is with his. And you see, Miri, you see Sindara look across at you and smile and go, as they look like they're laying in wait. So Miri, go ahead and throw your rope.
John, Miri.
Oh, you're muted.
You really want me to throw a rope, do you?
Yes.
I do.
For it. Oh my
No,
That's not great.
I completely miss.
Yes. So you
We're all
wind up and
amazed
you
by Antoinette, and then
and there's this. Everyone's like, "Whoa!" And there's this plunk sound into the water that doesn't even get like halfway, and Miri just starts kind of dragging the rope back in.
Just to clarify, Miri, not only did I more gracefully jump into the water, but I can also hit things.
It is what it is.
We'll get it on a second try, no worries.
All right, so Bart, you sort of look over and see Miri's retrieving the hook from the water, and Riaris is like, "Well, can't wait for your crewmates, or you're all gonna die. Better get going."
I'm gonna put my sword in my mouth. I'm gonna start climbing.
All right,
You
roll
want to
me
put
an
my weapon
athletics
in my
roll.
mouth? Can I just like keep it on my belt?
Your weapon's in her belt.
Oh, I've got a second weapon.
11.
So you start to try to shimmy along the rope, and you are struggling to make up. Like you kind of like start to go across it and sort of like do that thing where you kind of flop over and like now you're in the water too. As you don't fall off the rope, but you're having a little bit of trouble hanging onto it. You probably only get about 10 feet along the rope, so you're still about 30 feet from the boat. So
good.
Holt, you watch as Bart seems to be struggling a bit on his rope. As Riaris shakes her head and she's like, "How about you? Do you think you can do better?"
Well, I have rolled, and yes, I can.
Ah, yes. So do you go across the rope? Are you going to do the hand over hand with your legs, or are you going to try to tightrope walk this sucker?
I'm not tightrope walking. That's insane. I'm not a rogue.
All right. So, Bart, you are kind of struggling as you see out of the corner of your eye Holt just kind of go across, and he makes it about 30 feet up the rope. He's only about 10 feet away from the edge of the boat.
Dang. All right.
Antoinette.
Athletics, all right.
You can use acrobatics, but then you're doing something else.
Oh no! Well, well, if you want a tightrope walk, you can use acrobatics, but it's
Yeah.
it's a harder DC. But if you're climbing across with your hands and feet, it's definitely athletics. So you
I
also
want to show off, but also let's just go like this.
all right. So you quickly follow suit with Holt. So the two of you are making good time. You actually hear Riaris like, not bad, not bad. We've got some. No wonder that one's a rigger.
I want to start racing Hold.
Excellent. So as the three of you are now on your ropes, the individuals who were waiting for you wind up and hawk their projectiles in your direction.
Great.
So let's see. Do-do-do-do. All right. Here we go. Plus, well, that was a very good plus. So, first one is going at Bart.
Of course, naturally.
All right. Does a 12 hit you?
No, it's not.
All right.
Do you maybe want to use your natural 20s for this? Just like
Oh,
a
I have natural 20s.
You do.
I forgot. Oh,
nice
See?
critical cabbage to the face.
see, I knew that my friends here cared. So yeah, so let's see. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3,
Too
4.
many.
I have 5. All right, so I am going to I will use that one. There goes 1. So all right, Bart. So you get swatted with a rotten head of lettuce on your rope. Roll me a dexterity saving throw as you get clobbered in the head.
Oh,
Oh,
la, 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 oh my god.
the lettuce explodes everywhere.
Oh.
The lettuce explodes everywhere. 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 But you do not fall off your rope.
Can I say
on.
with that critical, since I have my sword in my mouth, that I like slice the lettuce in half?
You just turn and it explodes all around you.
I don't even care.
Then a hard roll is gonna come flying at Holt, and I'm gonna use another nat 20 because it's such a good idea. So.
Oh, okay, fine.
All right, so you get clobbered with a hard roll, Holt, and let's see. Yeah. There is a splashing sound as Holt is knocked from the rope into the water below, and submerges and then comes back up from the water. And then Antoinette.
How good is your swimming, Holt?
Swim back. I'm an excellent swimmer.
All right.
For a non-water creature like the rest of you are.
Yeah, right? All right,
I hear there's a slight against us here. Just I was going to come in and help you, but...
well, let's see. Antoinette, you get a rotten tomato just splattered across the side of your face. Roll a dexterity saving throw.
Oh.
But even the stinky rotten tomato does not cause you to fall off of the rope as you hold on to your grip. Meanwhile, back in the boat, Miri, you're retrieving your grappling hook. Sandara is like, well, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe. If he swells, let him go. I'm going to throw this at... Hey, Bart, heads up! She
God
throws...
damn it.
She throws, at you. Just another hard roll. Make another dexterity roll.
Oh, boy. All right. Oh, so close.
You lose your hand grip and like your head submerges, and then you like pull back up and hold on because you're still close enough, and so you don't go off completely from the rope. And she's like, Miri, if you hurry up, the next one's for you. And then Miri, it is your turn. You have retrieved your grappling hook. And Riaris is like, give it another shot.
Come on, Miri, you can do it.
I start swinging this thing and I throw it, but I am going to use Tides of Chaos.
Ooh.
Which gives me advantage, which gets rid of disadvantage, so straight roll.
Gone.
And it doesn't matter.
God.
Yep.
Miri, there's Bardic Inspiration, but I don't think it'll help you.
Yeah, you do have Bardic Inspiration. What is the dice for the Bardic Inspiration?
Yeah, it's a D6.
Oh, let's see. I'll roll the D6.
That's true. Remember, all of you guys have it.
Actually, you know what? Don't use it. I'm sorry. Hang on. You make it. It's not hard to make it.
Okay.
It's just like tying the knot isn't hard to tie the knot.
But this is the throw.
Okay.
Yeah. The throw is... Yeah. Last time you rolled a 1, so that's why you didn't make it.
Oh, yeah.
So
basically what you're saying is it's a massive, massive, massive ship. And you can't miss it unless you roll a 1.
Fair enough.
Kind of, yes. So so don't waste your Bardic Inspiration yet.
Okay.
So roll me a dexterity roll to tie off your rope. As you are surprised when your grappling hook wraps around the deck.
Good Lord.
And then you quickly tie off your rope and secure it and look around a little surprised that, oh, I have this tied off now. This is good. Meanwhile, Bart, you're about 10 feet along your rope. You see from your vantage point upside down your fellows reloading for their next round of volleys. What do you want to do? Do you keep going? Or do you give up?
Yeah, I'll keep going.
All right, it's going to be an athletics roll.
Okay.
Oh, Bartholomew.
Can I use my advantage on that, maybe?
Oh, you can use your advantage.
You have an advantage.
You do.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right, so you start to crawl along the rope and struggle a bit, but then manage to recover, and you basically cover the distance, and now you're sort of neck and neck with Antoinette as you crawl across the rope. Antoinette, for a second you thought, oh, this will be, oh, wait, I've got competition. Holt, you have swum back to the boat, the small rowboat, and
does she help
yourself
me into
in.
the boat?
I do.
She will. Yeah, the two hands, hers and Mary's, extend to help you into the boat.
That's kind. Just,
You're-
keep track.
Your rope is still tied off as she looks at you expectantly and looks at the rope.
All right. That wasn't fun. I checked the rope if it's still good.
It looks like it's still holding. You did a pretty good job with that knot.
Let's try that again. Then I hop back on the rope.
All right, roll in athletics.
There we go.
All right, so the soaking wet Holt now claws his way along the rope. Bart, as you're closing the distance between you and Antoinette still, Holt just leaps back on the rope and is like climbing up the rope hand over hand as fast as he can. You definitely can see like his time spent these last few weeks in the rigging. He's very skilled at climbing the ropes. Antoinette, you are almost to the ship. You're neck and neck with Bart. Holt's catching up quickly.
I can do this. I can
do this.
I'm feeling very good about this competition I've got going here with whoever comes closest. I can do this. I'm going to use Bardic Inspiration on top of that. Just to make sure that I can do this.
All right.
That's a 14 total.
So you sort of slip a little bit as you try to make the distance the rest of the way to the boat. Like you kind of get almost to the rail and you're trying to kind of get a grab to like pull yourself over and finish, and you slide back a little bit as you kind of don't get enough of a grip. So you're within maybe like 5 feet of the railing, but you don't have enough body strength in that moment to kind of pull yourself up. Phipps looks over the rail at you and smiles.
Uh-oh. I do not like that.
He comes up with a very large head of lettuce, and he's going to throw it straight down on your head in this moment.
Oh
my gosh.
The wisdom of throwing away food items when we're on a boat in the middle of the ocean.
It's rotting. This is the bad food.
Can I just question the logistics of having rotten food with us? Like, something went wrong there.
It just didn't get used, so...
It's almost as sensible as having a magic user use fire on the ship all the time.
Fine.
So he is going to just throw this straight down toward your face. But he, in his zeal to just like hit you, he almost throws himself over the rail. So he has to let go of the lettuce and grab on so he doesn't fall into the water himself.
Dumbass.
Which makes Jack, standing next to him, laugh. And then Jack says, "Sorry, Holt!" And he throws a biscuit at your head.
Biscuit. All right.
Mm-hmm. The ship's biscuit.
A risky biscuit.
This is 17
good episode title.
Yes, because I'm not wearing any armor. Also,
I'm
fairly stationary.
You are. Make a dexterity saving throw as you get hit in the side of the face with a biscuit. Oh no! You both watch.
Is it useful for me to use my Bardic Inspiration on this?
Oh, let me double check. It definitely could help. It could put you over the edge.
I'll give it a whirl. 1d6. Nope.
Oh.
And Holt once again loses his grip, and you hear the splash of Holt falling into the drink below. And as that happens, Bart, you see Aretta wind up and throw. You realize she's throwing one of the wooden cups that they use for rum rations at your head. And she's just like,
all right,
heads up! And...
Heads up would have been a better pun for the head of lettuce, but okay.
It's true.
She-
Wait a minute.
Hurls it in your direction and misses. Miri, you're getting ready to make your run at this on the rope, and you see Sindara. Sindara just sort of kind of holding something in her hands, moving it back and forth between her hands, and like readying for you to go. And she just nods at you like, "Let's go."
I'm going to remove some competition at the top of these ropes, and I'm going to cast sleep on the group at the top.
Oh, God damn.
Oh my god.
Ruthless.
Is there no save for this?
Oh my gosh.
No, roll
No, it's hit
some
points.
dice there for us, Miri. This
Yeah.
is gonna.
Isn't
So
that
Miri's
dangerous
gonna-
when we land in the water?
I mean, all right. What
good?
is everybody's hit points right now?
Well, I'm going to be centering it on the group up top so that it doesn't touch.
Oh.
I will do it such a way that it doesn't touch
Okay.
my team.
Ah,
It's
I
on
thought
the
you
people
were
throwing
hitting them.
stuff.
Okay.
On the people throwing stuff. Not on our guys.
Okay.
That's
okay.
not what you said.
Not on the climber. No, I'm getting rid of the competition of people throwing stuff at us.
Right. I thought you'd
Okay.
gotten rid of us.
Yeah, okay. I got it.
I did too. Okay,
No,
so
sorry, no. On the people throwing
All right.
stuff at us.
Right.
Either way, it's delightful.
so both Phipps and Aretta drop. You just see them fall out of sight. Boom. And you see Sindara and Jack on either side go, "What the hell?" And then Sindara looks back up, still holding whatever she'd got in her hand, looking down where Miri is down below. But we're back to the top of the order. Bart, you are almost to the ship's railing. Antoinette's struggling.
Keep
Holt
going.
is in the drink.
Oh, let's do this.
Let's do this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Bart scrambles up the rope, sword in his mouth between his teeth, flips over the railing and lands on the deck. You look, Phipps and Aretta are snoring at your feet, and Jack just smiles. Hey, that wasn't too bad.
No, well, I told you I was good at it.
Meanwhile, Holt, you have swum back to the
Poor
rowboat
Holt.
again.
Yeah, this is getting tiring, I assume. Right.
A little bit.
Hoist myself back in the boat.
Riaris helps pull you in. She's
I
like,
try to shake myself off and get rid of some of the water now, because that's gonna get heavy.
she says, "You better not fall again. I told you 3 times off that rope and Master Scourge." And she looks up to the deck where you
It's
see
not
Master
like I'm
Scourge
trying
is
to
paying
fall in the
attention.
water.
Well, I know, but just saying. She's like, "He looks a little too happy right now."
I hope you're making note of how good Jack is with throwing things. Like, whatever.
It's
Yeah.
true.
When we get into
He's
a
got a
fight,
good
we
arm.
should find him some throwing daggers or whatever.
That's an idea. I'll have to talk to Cutthroat about getting him some daggers. All right, well, you better get going.
Yeah. All right. Give me a sec. All right. Let's go. I'm half tempted to cast heroism on myself, but
What does
that's
that
probably a
do?
bit overboard. Try once more.
All right.
Ooh, that's not great.
That is not very good. So you
Oh boy.
kind of struggle to get onto the rope and get a good grip now that you're soaking wet and rather weighed down. So you kind of get yourself on there, but you don't make a lot of distance at this point. You don't fall off at this point. But it's getting
That feels
a
very
little bit
real
hard.
that I'm not enthusiastically going now after having fallen off twice.
It's true. Antoinette, you
Right.
see Bart has made it to the deck.
I'm gonna straight up follow him.
All right.
Oh.
So you try to follow him, and Bart, as you're on the deck, you watch Antoinette tries to do another grab, and this time she doesn't fall off again, but she does another one of those because these ropes are at a nice angle, and you're kind of You just watch as she reaches, and then she slides away about 15 feet before she catches and holds herself in place. Jack is like, "Well, sorry, Antoinette," and he's going to hurl another biscuit at your head. And I'm going to use my nat 20 to knock you off.
Oh, of course you are.
Oh,
So, he hurls it. Roll a dexterity saving throw as you are plunked in the side of the head with this.
11.
That is good enough. You don't fall off the rope. You maybe like lose your foot grip for a second and have to kick your feet back up and wrap them around again, but you don't fall from the rope. And
That's something.
Miri, you're getting ready to go up this rope. You've put to sleep 2 of the people who are waiting, but you watch as Sindara is still just smiling. Her smile is just ear to ear, and she just looks at you and she does one of these. Come on, Miri.
Yes. As tired as I am, I'm still got disadvantage on all of these, so I'm going to take a deep breath and start climbing the rope.
Okay.
All right, so you get on the rope and you're kind of trying to pull yourself along, and as soon as you start, you realize how this is really hard. Like, and you look over at Holt, who's struggling too, and 2 of you are just kind of just off this rowboat, and Sandara's like, "Look out!" as she throws. Oh wait, let's see. Hers is gonna be
No more nat 20s though.
That's true.
no more nat 20s. Hers is actually. Does a 15 hit you?
Oh yes.
All right, roll a dexterity saving throw.
Ooh, boy.
Miri's looking at Holt. Holt's looking at Miri, and all of a sudden Miri's like into the water. And
Good news is
That is
not
not
long
just
fall
me.
off.
True.
all right, so we're gonna go back around one more time before we finish up. So, Bart, you are on deck. Holt,
Yeah.
you are holding onto a rope.
I'll make a roll. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
There we go.
So Holt just hand over hand makes his way up the rope. Pull, 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 pull. He's just on like the edge, like hand kind of reaching for the deck to pull himself up. Antoinette, you watch as Holt scurries past on his rope. Looks like he's gonna beat you onto the ship.
No. No.
You slide like another 50 back.
I want to style this out with a swan dive back into the water.
All right, so you release from the rope and just dive into the water.
I just want to have more of a swim, clearly.
You surface right next to where Miri surfaces.
Hi,
looking at one
Miri.
another.
Hi.
And
I figure it'd be I figure I'd let the other ones get there first while I have a bit more of a refreshing swim down here.
Yeah, this water's kind of nice.
It is, isn't it?
It's nice and warm.
as you say that, each of the ropes splashes into the water from the boat as you see Riaris like goes through and unknots each one, and then you see her pull out the oars and start rowing back, and she rows kind of nearby where you 2 are and looks into the water and is like, "Do you need a lift or are you gonna swim back to the boat?"
I'll swim and then climb the rope.
She keeps rowing. She says, "I kind of figured." So she rows the small rowboat back to the side of the boat and kind of fetches it up alongside and lashes it to the side of it. Holt, you're kind of hanging over the edge. You see Jack's hand come over the edge, and he kind of puts his hand out to help you, kind of drag you up and over onto the deck.
That's not your job. Your job is to push me off.
He's like, "It's all right. I fell in 3 times when I tried it when I was first on board. It's not so easy
right.
as it looks. Take some
I'm
practice."
Gonna inside check him to see if this is a trick, because that's what
Okay.
that makes sense to me.
Good point.
You think he's telling you the truth.
All right, I'll trust him and let him help me up.
All right, he'll pull you over. You're soaking wet, and the water splashes down on Phipps and Aretta, who sputter from this and sort of wake up from being asleep and look around. And Phipps is like, "Oh no! I had a ghost in me, didn't I?" And
Yes,
we're
you
going to
did.
close on that.
Yes, you did.
As he sits up sputtering and worries that he has been possessed by a ghost and the ghost has left him. That is where we will leave it off, as you all have attempted some boarding training, some more successfully than others. Master Scourge is storming away, looking angry that he didn't get a third fall into the water. His itchy whip finger is still twitching because he doesn't think he's going to get a shot at this today. And as everyone climbs back up from below and a couple of people start pulling up the rowboat to set it back on deck and lash it to the deck for travel, Antoinette, you come up soaking wet with Miri, and you see sitting on the stairs just watching this, gives you kind of a wink. You see Peppery Longfarthing just sort of watching you and smiling.
I do another bow. In her direction.
She just stares with those very large, intense eyes in your direction. Which the rest of you, because you're kind of in a group, there's a little bit of like a uncomfortable, like, between this passing glance and bow. But that is where we will end after, you know, probably a couple hours of this practicing. Riara seems a little unhappy with the results. You may need some more training in this. Some of you did better than others.
Catch me on a day where I'm not so exhausted.
So, but yeah, so we will close it with your finishing of boarding training, and we'll go around and we'll do some plugs. So we'll go. Why don't we start with Dylan?
Okay. Hey, I'm Dylan.
Hi.
As you saw, I play Bart. And on Saturdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time over on twitch.tv/PowerscoreRPG, I also play Kuriyami, my Oni-blooded tiefling mystic, as part of the Chaos Crew, where right now we're under a lighthouse in a secret laboratory with like Modrons and like a buzzsaw tower, and you know, I may have kicked a bear trap onto a keg robot's suggestively placed spigot. You know, a lot of things happened. But yeah, you can find me there on twitch.tv/PowerscoreRPG. You know.
So that's what happens when I leave you all to your own devices, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Great. All right, sounds good. How about you, Brad?
Just here for Skulls and Shenanigans. Not much else going on, and looking forward to the game next time we play.
Sounds good. And Kat?
I do really like the name Skulls and Shenanigans. Shenanigans has been the game since day one. Yeah, I don't have any other online games. Well, live streamed games. But yeah, this is fun. I look forward to it each time. And I was so worried about Antoinette today. That was tense. Yeah, I'm really excited to see where this goes.
Little pieces are still out there.
What does she do with the bloody rag? I don't want to know, but I do want to know, but I don't want to know.
That's a good question. I don't know. And how about Paladin Hulk? What have you got going on?
Hi, everybody. I'm Paladin Hulk. I'm a Twitch moderator for Random Tuesday and Little Red Dot. In about a half an hour, 20 minutes, Lauren will be streaming. That's Random Tuesday, and that's where I'll be. And I just closed out the Masks campaign I was a part of over on Welcome to the Party RPG, and it ended really well. My character decided to really try to be like an excellent superhero after his the person he looked up to for years proved not to be worthy of his admiration. He figured he'd give it a try himself to live up to those expectations, and it was a great time. And Monday, so tomorrow, I'm going to have a session 0 for my Blades in the Dark hack of Watchmen. And
awesome.
We're going to have, it's going to be a thing on Tales from the Grim. I'm real excited to see where that's going to go. I'm going to play a guy called Martial Law, and he's going to be of the kind who feels that rehabilitating criminals takes too much work and is therefore not worth it. So you should just kill them because that's efficient. Because Watchmen's really dark.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. I gotta make a note. I gotta watch that for sure because that sounds amazing. So good. And I'm Jeanette. You can find me here with this crew of crazy pirates every other Sunday at 4:30 p.m. Also, we have 2 new Cthulhu games, both set in the Old West, possibly in the same universe. Who knows if there'll be crossover issues between their decisions. Could happen. I mean, they're all in New Mexico, just in different spots. But one is on Monday evenings at 7 p.m., and that will be not tomorrow, but the following Monday, so it's the off week from this game. And the other is on Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. on the same week as this game. So this Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time here, is going to be our second episode of that game. And one group is hunting for an escaped wanted criminal who is wanted for murders and things like that. So they have gone off to assist in finding and retrieving this gentleman and bringing him to justice. And the other group is made up of a hodgepodge of people who have various reasons for traveling to this small town at the same time, and just their own varied interests. And they don't know what's going to happen while they're in this little town, because some of the rumors they've heard that brought them here may lead to bigger mysteries and creepy Cthulhu issues. We'll find out. So yeah, that's what I've got going on. And then you can find me with Dylan on Power Scores Game. And you can find me on Scotty Hood's channel playing some Ghosts of Saltmarsh, where we almost died last night. So that was fun. But otherwise, that's it for this week. Thank you, everyone, for a great session. We'll see what happens when we come back. And until then, I believe that we won't see everybody again till after the holidays. So I hope everyone has those that celebrate have a Merry Christmas. And any other holidays you celebrate go well and everyone enjoys and has safe time with family and friends. And, you know, if you get presents, I hope you get nice presents. I hope I get nice presents. Yes, that would be nice. So, all right, everybody take care, and we'll see everyone later. Thank you very much. Bye.